Hello everyone and welcome to the Oak Tree Journeys. My name is Mandy Oaks and today we are doing the second part of the preface for the Encyclopedia Challenge. So thank you so much for joining me. As I forget most of the time to remind everyone, just give me a thumbs up if you want to do the challenge. Don't forget to hit the subscription and the notification bell because we are going to be hitting the Encyclopedia Challenge starting tomorrow. So it's very quickly, we'll get into it. And if you want to join me for the Encyclopedia Challenge and learn new things, and watch me just kind of bumble over words, or bumble over words, see, I already did it, then you are welcome to join me. I'm very, very excited about this. So let's get started. So right now we are doing the preface for the Encyclopedia Americana. So we're going to be doing two different sets, a 1909 set and then a 1956 set. So let's get into, this is what the 1956 set looks like, the cover. So let's just go ahead and read some of the technical stuff. That way tomorrow we can just go ahead and get into it. And tomorrow is the letter A. Not sure how far we'll get into it because there is more to the letter A than you realize. So, very exciting. Alright, so we're going to do the first part first, because that's very important, all the copyright information. The Encyclopedia Americana, the international reference work, complete in 30 volumes, and I do have the full set of this one. I don't have the full set of the 1909, as you know from my previous video, which is why we're going to go back and forth to these. And I'm going to look for the other ones, but I'm not sure if I'll find them. We'll see. Alright, so complete in 30 volumes between 1829 and 1956. Americana Corporation, New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C. Alright, this is in the 1956 edition. Copyright 1956 in the United States of America by Americana Corporation. So the copyrights for Americana Corporation are as follows, and there's quite a bit of them. 1956, 1955, 1954, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, and it skips down to 1932, 1931, 1929, and 1927. Now there are 4 more copyrights by Encyclopedia Americana Corporation, which are 1924, 1922, 1920, and 1918. Copyright under International Copyright Convention and under Pan-American Copyright Conventions. All rights reserved under Inter-American Copyright Union 1910 by Americana Corporation. This is printed in the USA. Library of Congress Catalog Card Number 56-5839. Printed and bound by American Book Stratford Press, Inc., New York, USA. Alright, now we're getting into the preface, and if you'll note, it is a lot different than the 1909 preface. Remember, the 1909 preface wanted you and encouraged you to read their books every day, not just as reference sources, not just one time, pick it up, flip through, find what you needed. They wanted you to read them every single day like you would a novel, like the books behind me. This one you'll see may not say that, but let's take a look. So in the first 2 pages are ripped, of course. So let's see if I can read this. All right, narrating the history of man and his achievements. The Encyclopedia Americana has endeavored, since its first publication in 1829, to present philosophies and facts with a minimum use of technical terms and with scholarly impartiality. Now that is the same. So if you remember the preface, the other one, they wanted to skip the technical terms so that way the regular person could understand it. So that's what it sounds like they're trying to do here. I have to say, when I got to the accounting section of this bad boy, which was on page 80, well, I had it, oh, there it is, right here, super technical, and it went on for pages. So I'm not really sure that they succeeded in that. But you can be the judge of that. It may have just gone over my head. Just, whew. Okay. It promotes no theories, harbors no racial, social, or political bias, and indulges in no prophecies. Edited and published in the United States and Canada to meet the need of English-speaking readers for a comprehensive general reference work, the Americana provides fuller and more detailed treatment of subjects of specifically American and Canadian interest than does any similar work of foreign publication. If you remember, the other one we read also mentioned it was for United States and Canada. So there are quite a few similarities. Alright, thus it contains more extensive analysis of the national histories, governments, economies, and social institutions of the neighbor North American countries than of other lands. Also separate articles by noted authorities on each of their This is going to be interesting to read this. Constituent states and provinces, but realizing that no nation can boast a monopoly of science and learning, the Americana provides as well extensive coverage of other lands and peoples, with many articles contributed by eminent foreign authorities. An earlier edition of the Americana was characterized as notable for its fullness in articles in dealing with technical subjects. The treatment of scientific and technical themes in the current edition likewise deserves this encomium. Okay. However, the editors consider the presentation of subjects in the humanities as of no less importance, and meriting equal praise. Indeed, the American and foreign scholars who have contributed articles in the fields of literature, art, and music, of history, government, and economics, education, biography, and religion are of such distinction as to ensure the place of the Americana in the front rank of the world's general reference works. So, there's another similarity. They both want to be in the forefront of your library. They want to be the source you go to. So that is really cool that that was their goal. The 1909 goal and the 1956 goal, two completely separate encyclopedia entities. So pretty cool. To keep pace with the world's kaleidoscopic changes in recent years, the Americana has undergone periodic revisions of its entire contents. Thus, during the 6 revised printings from 1950 to 1955, more than 4/5 of the contents were revised and reset. Think about that for 1 second. Think about how easy it is to go in and change Wikipedia. Think about how easy it is for Kindle to send you a new updated version of a book you bought. They did 6 revised printings from 1950 to 1955 in 30 volumes. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So just keep that in your mind, the back of your mind. In the same 6-year period, thousands, so there's another impressive thing, of new articles on subjects not previously treated were added, as well as thousands of new pictures, text, cut, halftone, and color. And it's very interesting. We're used to the internet, where we can get colored pictures or whatever. This is what they mean. So, and, there's a colored one too. Let's see. Missed it. Well, I had it, and, there, well. Okay, here's anatomy. So, anatomy is colored. So, there we go. Alright. So that's pretty wild. Alright, this vast increase of article and illustrative material in so short a span of years represents a record editorial achievement among the standard multi-volumed reference works of the mid-20th century. And I would say so. When one considers that the greater part of a general reference encyclopedia necessarily comprises articles on closed subjects, such as biographical sketches of historical personages, records of epical events of past times, histories of philosophies and religions, descriptions of vanished civilizations and pioneer mechanisms, it will be realized that the revisions of the Americana have been mainly concentrated on subjects of continuing development, which is a relief to know that they're not going in and rewriting history, which is a whole other subject in itself. Among unique features of this encyclopedia are the articles on the centuries of our era, which, 1956. So that'll be really cool to see what their era is. Newly written for the 1955 edition, each by a different historian specialist. They afford in 20 chapters a concise history of the world from the time of Christ to the present. Another feature is the wealth of descriptions of literature, dramatic and musical masterpieces called by a noted educator a priceless contribution to classical learning. To provide comprehensive information on the major nations of our day, the encyclopedia supplies a sheaf of articles for each, written by specialists, the components dealing with various aspects of national life. The description of Canada, for example, is given in 48 sectional articles by eminent Canadian authorities. Thus, the reader who may wish to obtain information on some matter relating, say, to the Dominion's geography can quickly find it by turning to the appropriate sectional article. Similarly, other major encyclopedic subjects are broken into sectional parts, each dealing with a separate phase of the general subject. By this method of treatment, the reader is spared the necessity of reading inordinately long articles to obtain specific information he may seek on a particular point. So, they are sparing us of this long process. I have to say, the accounting and parts, I did not feel like I was being spared. But again, that was just because it went whew. So, yeah. Of special value to readers consulting the Americana is the index in volume 30, where subjects are listed both alphabetically and topically. In the topical listing, the references to articles related to a major subject are grouped under general headings such as history, sociology, religion, mathematics, etc. The article thus listed under group heads are again listed under their own titles and their alphabetical position in the index. The topical arrangement is of assistance to students, enabling them to ascertain at a glance the number and location of articles closely related to the particular subject they may be studying. The subject headings, or titles of articles, throughout the set, as in the index, are arranged alphabetically by first word, letter by letter. If the first word is the same in two or more entries, alphabet by the first letter or letters of the second word, thus. And they have examples: man and Superman, man-eater, man of the earth, man of war, New Albany, New Brunswick, New Zealand, Newark, Newborough. So they're just showing us how it's separated alphabetically. For complete information on the use of the index, the reader is referred to the foreword and front matter in that volume. The maps in the Americana were prepared by one of the leading American cartographers, C.S. Hammond and Company. A key index to cities and towns with final 1950 census figures appears on the backs of all state maps of the United States. So if you ever wondered what the census was in 1950 versus now you got it, without having to type it up. Similarly, the maps of the Canadian provinces show the 1951 census figures. New indexes with the most recent population census figures have been provided for maps of major geographical areas and nations, e.g. the world, Pacific Ocean, South America, West Indies, Australia, and the Scandinavian and Middle East countries. The Americana is profusely illustrated with color plates, which you saw, halftones, and line drawings, each illustration having been selected to amplify and give clarity to the subject illustrated. The preface to an early 19th century edition expressed the aim of the editors to produce in the Americana a national work so broad, comprehensive, and genuinely great that it would everywhere be recognized as the product of native genius and be acknowledged worthy of the great people for whom it was prepared. Conscious that America and Americana are terms equally applicable to Canada, the editors of recent editions have endeavored to make the Encyclopedia Americana the foremost North American general reference work, and at the same time an international world reference work. Of inestimable help in achieving these aims have been the advisory editors, eminent authorities in diverse fields, who have made possible the maintenance of highest encyclopedic standards in an age of specializations. The editors take this opportunity to express their deep sense of appreciation to the advisory editors in Canada and the United States for their wise counsel and cooperation, which has contributed to the solution of many complex, scholarly, and technical problems. The editors. So, last time I showed you the pages of advisory editors and all that, but I realized you can't really read it, and these go on for pages and pages, so I'm not even going to hold it up because you can't read it anyway. But I am very excited to begin this endeavor, and I'm glad that you are joining me. Again, if you are ready to join me on learning about the encyclopedia, the entries, and you've been just looking for a place where you can hear the entries read to you, in case you don't have time to actually read them yourself, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little notification bell. That way you won't miss the videos. So again, very, very excited. This is a great journey, and just have fun. We're going to have fun with it. So just have a great day, everyone, and until next time, grace and peace to you.